We know that CAR T-cell therapy is an important treatment for patients with relapsed refractory CLL. There's one FDA-approved product called lisocabtagene, and with that product, at least in their pivotal clinical trial, we had a median progression-free survival of about 12 months. So what that tells us is that this is an effective single infusion therapy, but about a year later, half the patients have either relapsed or died or had an event leading to that outcome. And so the question is, can we do better? And so one of the ways to make CAR T cells more effective is to target more than one B-cell antigen. We know that in CLL in particular, that this is a disease very sensitive to CD20 targeting. In fact, obinutuzumab is the mainstay of a lot of different treatments for CLL. And so we had a hypothesis that targeting both 19, a known target for CAR-T, and 20, a known target in CLL, that a dual targeted construct could potentially improve the efficacy. And so we launched a Phase I clinical trial using the LV2019 construct for patients with relapsed refractory CLL. With that trial, we looked at both the safety and efficacy of this construct. And so first with the safety, we did see that there was a different signal in the CLL patients. At the standard dose we use in other B-cell malignancies of 2.5 million cells per kilo, we actually found that in CLL patients, we were seeing high rates of IECHS, so immune effector cell hemophagocytic lymphohistiocytosis syndrome, and actually had some patients have poor outcomes as a result of that. So we actually modified the clinical trial and dropped the dose to 1 million by 10 to the 6 cells per kilo, and after doing that, we actually got a better safety and efficacy signal. For the overall population though, including both dose levels, we have an overall response rate of 90% and a CR rate of 80% and a 2-year progression-free survival of 77%. And so we haven't actually reached the median progression-free survival on this clinical trial to date. And so very early data, Phase I, a small number of patients, but we're seeing a signal that dual targeting may improve the efficacy of CAR T-cell therapy in patients with relapsed refractory CLL. We hope this data will sort of be encouraging to do further studies with this construct or any studies that involve targeting more than one B-cell antigen.